Alright lads and lasses, welcome along. Weekend work. Tuesday's video, we looked at the theory behind app workspaces and how best to lay out your workspace environment to build the best sharing and collaboration platform you can and to really get the most out of Power BI. Right? I'm conscious, a lot of people are going to say, it seemed awful complicated. Well, it doesn't need to be that difficult, does it? Right? Alright, so here we are, right? We're Workspaces, right? Power BI homepage. Gotta get used to it. Honestly, make it the heart of your Power BI environment. You can also connect to it in Teams. So you've got no excuse not to be using it if you're using Power BI. I've set up one of my data flow workspaces, right? New York City water towers workflows. Data flow, sorry. I can come into it, right? And here we go. There's my data flow that I've got, right? And one of the things I can do, if we click on the settings of it, right, you'll see I've put in, let's zoom in on that a little bit. I've put in some descriptive information about it, so your New York water towers when it's refreshed, okay? There's no limit to the number of data flows and data flow workspaces you can set up. You can have multiple data flows within a workspace. You can have one workspace for each data flow. I would say catalog them around. I might decide to put the New York taxi data in here, for example. I might decide to do other things, or I could leave them separate. You might decide that's based around your departments. So you might have a finance data flow. You might have it based around systems. So you might have a system that's used by finance and by building management and by IT, right? And that might be where your data flow is. We're going to the view and we're going to the lineage. We can see the lineage of it. And remember, lineage will only show you backwards, so back a step. So the point of having a data flow area is around, this is what I need to know as the person who manages the data flow, where the sources are. And really everyone else downstream or, in the next stage on, right, they don't really need to know. Right? My job is to make sure this is right. Okay. And for a big business, you might have different teams handing off different parts of it. Right? I might have, again, if it was like, this is the finance area, getting data out from the finance system, I might have one or two people who are responsible for getting that data out. Everyone else doesn't necessarily need to know the exact location of it. Back up with data though, we can see it build up. We can see the sources as they build up to one. And obviously if we had multiple data flows, we'd see them all coming together. Those are then picked up into my data modeling workspace. So here, and we can see it's picking up some from that workspace and we can see it's picking up some from another. And that's another key thing that you can do. Okay, so you can really pick up data flows from multiple workspaces and build a data model with them. And that data model, remember, is going to have calculations, relationships, all that kind of information that just isn't in a data flow. You'll notice when you do this, especially with Power BI, I think if you use Tabular Editor, you can avoid having this issue. But Power BI desktop by nature will always have a report published with it. So we've got this report here, but if we go back to the list view, you'll see I've actually made sure I've unticked to include it in an app, and we never want to publish an app from this workspace in the scenario we gave. Right? And the last place we've got, right, and the bit that probably everyone wants to see, right, is the app workspace. So the app workspace, we can see again, it's linked to downstream. I don't know where it's come from, but I know this data model. If this data model was certified, it'd be like, yeah, certified, really good, woo, right? And I'll be super proud. I've got me 2 reports in, so I can look at me, going across to my New York water tower data set, the report pack, sorry, and I can see, oh, here's good, this report is good, it's what we want to see. And then we can see we've got the drill through working. So we can go into the report drill through and see this is the information about it. And I could then go from here and do the cross report drill through and actually get that next level of information about the specifics of that inspection. So we've got a lot of power going on here. And you see where I've structured this so it can export it as PDF. I thought, yeah, works well, doesn't it? Right? It all slots together. And we're starting to get a really clear picture of an environment. And then the last thing of work, that piece of work that I'd need to do, right? I'll tell you what, right? Let's get rid of this ugly mug. Let's go to my face so you can see where I'm clicking, right? And we'll carry on. So the last thing I need to do is to create an app. Okay, so first off, switch out of your lineage view and go into your list view. And you need to be making sure that your yes to include in the app is correct. Right? You might have stuff in here, because if you remember, one of the things I'm really keen that you understand is that an app and a workspace are two separate things. I might have the next report pack that we're working on already in here, but I don't want to share it as part of an app. So that's why I might have that ticked as no, not to include it, right? For now, we'll tick them both, right? Which is probably going to be how things will be for you if you're going down the 3-tiered route that I've suggested, right? What we'll do now is we're going through and say, right, we're going to create an app, right? If you've already got an app, it'll be update app. We can see, we can give it a name. So in this case, I'm going to take off the app WS piece, just so we know it's just going to be an app, because we'd want a nice friendly name, because the people who are going to look at it, they're like me senior managers, they're like the people like that in my business who they didn't want to know about that there's other workspaces downstream of it or out like that, right? So we'll give it a description. So this is going to be the weekly, because we refresh it weekly, but we might find the New York data set updates every day or so, but we're going to put the weekly New York rooftop water tower inspection report. Okay, a support site. I didn't have any specific support site written for it, but you know, this is where you could put a website. You know, I'll tell you what. Whoop. JodyIntelligence.co.uk, yeah, right? Contact, if there's an issue, contact me, right? You could put a group in here, you could put an email address, something like that, okay? Just contact me if there's an issue. We're going to choose next, navigation. Okay, so which report do you want it to go to when they first come to it? We're going to say the New York one, the details report, I want to hide that one. So it's going to hide it from the navigation. So we've just got this New York water towers in that they can see. And here, of course, I can add links, I can add sections, I can build up quite a good navigation structure in here. And then lastly, we've got the permissions. So I could say, well, I want specific people to have access to it. I'm going to say we're YouTube. Okay, so I've put our YouTube team can have access to this report. Right? And of course, you know, they would need to have a Power BI license to see it. Next, you can see allow all users to connect to the app's underlying data set, right? So that would give people the ability to create reports from Power BI desktop by connecting to it as a Power BI data set. I could untick that and they wouldn't be able to do it. The nice thing with this is if you've gone down an embedded or a premium capacity route, this will still work because connecting to that data set doesn't require an additional pro license. 9 times out of 10, though, if you leave it on and you're worried saying, oh, I don't want them doing it, they probably won't be doing it anyway. So, you know, we've got that built. We can now hit publish. So my app is now going to publish. So to get access to my report, what do I have to do? How can I access an app? From your home screen, if we expand this out again, you'll see, look, we've got apps. They're not hidden. They're kind of there for you. So if I click on apps, these are where I can get my list of apps. I can now go to get apps and it'll show me a list of apps. And in this case, I can see it's right there, but I could search for it if I wasn't sure. And that's one of the things to think about with your naming conventions and things like that. And I would just click get now, right? And that's going to add it to my list of apps. Click on it and it'll take me to the nice app view that will show me the report pack that we built. And I can click through it as I would normally. Got a different page. See all the drills still work. So again, if we gan through, find where John Wick was. Yeah, 76 Beaver Street. We can gan through, drill through into that report. We can see what's going on with it. See the latest report there. Let's scan the inspection report. We get all the information about what's happening at 76 Beaver Street. So what do you reckon then? Having 3 teams or 3 tiers sounds like it'll be adding work. Realistically, the added overhead isn't that much. And the benefit is that as you get bigger and your Power BI environment gets bigger, it's easier to subdivide responsibility out. And you've always got the ability, because you've got permissions and that control of workspace at a workspace level, of simply saying, no, you can't access anymore. Right? Again, stick to using teams. Teams are great for managing permissions within Power BI. Right? On Tuesday, we showed it as used to share with apps. We've showed it today, managing the app permissions. Right? But if you start to use it across the whole of Power BI, you aren't using individual people's permissions and managing that and saying, oh, Ross can see this, he can't see that, he doesn't want that. Right? And that's why we say apps. That's why avoid like the plague sharing individual reports with anybody. Right? Honestly, ain't nobody got time for that. Right? So let us know what you reckon. Comments down below. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Head on over to geordieintelligence.co.uk. Become a member, right? And get more involved with us. For now, though, have a great weekend. Take care. Ta-da.